Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to this reading for this time period. You have this house card. Says relocation and home on it. You have this triangle. Says choices and indecision on it. So you might have a choice to move and you could be indecisive. And we do have the world as your crossing energy, so that's kind of funny. Even if you're not moving, this could be a move that you are wanting to make. Like, maybe you want to travel, or maybe you're thinking about changing jobs or doing something different, moving in a different direction in your life. So, tarot doesn't have to be literal. It could be more figurative, and you could be thinking about making a move towards something, which you clearly are, because you have the Knight of Pentacles right here. Knight of Pentacles is kind of like a card of thinking about making a move. The Knight of Pentacles is not moving. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move. But he's thinking about it. He's got these empty fields behind him, and I always say that if he were to plant seeds in that field, they would grow. So whatever you're thinking about, I think could bring you a lot of fulfillment. You have the Nine of Cups here. Nine of Cups is all about fulfillment or being in fulfillment. Now, he is in the energy of what he wants. So the Nine of Cups is a card of wish, or, getting a wish or getting something you wish for. But I always say that, to get the wish with the Nine of Cups, we have to be in perfect alignment with what we want. And, the easiest way to do that, I think, with the Nine of Cups is to adopt the habits of success. So if you want success in love, you have to, do the things that you would do if you were in love, or you have to express the energy of love, or you have to go do more things that you do love. Same thing with money. Like, you have to go, even if you don't have money, you have to act as if you do. You have to pretend. You have to learn how to pretend, right? And so that's what I would do with the Nine of Cups so that you can find fulfillment. But there's clearly like some sort of wish or something that you want. You even have the Sun in the area of your thoughts, which of course we're going to talk about. But, the Sun is the best card in the deck, and the Sun is kind of saying you're focusing on something that you really want. Your crossing energy is the world. Now, the crossing energy in a Celtic cross can be what hurts you or helps you. The world is like some sort of accomplishment or an achievement. And then we have the Six of Wands coming up in the reading as well, which is also a card of like accomplishment, achievement, or a victory. And so I do feel that you could have your eye on something that would, be a personal victory for you, and maybe it would make you feel like you're on top of the world, right, with the World card here. I think you're going to do it. I don't know, it's kind of, sometimes I do readings and I just feel like what I'm talking about isn't even worth talking about because you're going to do it anyway. So I don't know, like this is one of those moments where, I kind of feel like I'm talking to someone who is just going to do the thing that I'm talking about anyway. So I don't know if that's helpful. What I would say here is that, maybe the reason it's coming up in the reading is because you could probably get started now, instead of waiting with that Knight of Pentacles. So I'm all tongue-tied today apparently. What I would say is that if you have been thinking about trying to accomplish something, I would just get started now. I wouldn't wait, with that Knight of Pentacles. Next, in the area of your thoughts or what's on your mind, you have the Sun. So happiness. We also have the Ten of Cups in your foundation, which is amazing. Both cards are great cards of happiness and joy and being joyful. The Sun is also kind of like a spotlight in your life. I always say the Sun shines a light on things that we need to pay attention to. So especially since it's coming up in the area of what's on your mind or in your thoughts, then I feel the Sun is saying you need to pay close attention to your thoughts, because they are probably guiding you towards a better life or towards improvements or towards something that you do want in your life. And, again, that's definitely what I would pay attention to with the Sun, is the direction of your thoughts. Or I would pay attention to, manifesting the thing that you want in your life. And like I said, the Sun kind of shines a light on what you need to pay attention to. We also go down from the Sun to the Knight of Pentacles to the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups could be love, but the Knight of Cups is also your dream. The Knight of Cups is very dreamy. Sometimes he's looking into that cup that he's holding on to. He's standing in the desert, but there's this water flowing in front of him. So we're going to talk more about this. But, the Knight of Pentacles needs to plant seeds. The Knight of Cups needs to plant seeds in front of that water, and they will grow. So, I think the Knight of Cups is kind of like confirmation for you that you have the resources necessary to get started on whatever you're trying to grow. You have the Ten of Cups in the area of your foundation. The Ten of Cups can represent fortune after difficulty, and we see a lot of joyful, happy energy in this reading, which is great. There could be a lot more happiness or joy coming in for you. The Ten of Cups, the important thing with the Ten of Cups is that these people are choosing to be happy. They're standing in the real world, still dealing with all the real world issues and problems and challenges, but they are ultimately choosing happiness. And that's kind of what I feel like you need to do, is make sure that you are making the choice of happiness. Make sure you're making the choice to be happy or to create more happiness in your life, or whatever the case may be. And, that's what I would do here with the Ten of Cups. Next, in your past position, this is the energy of what you're moving past. You have this lighthouse that says you're a light that can't be hidden. So don't ever try to for anyone. You have this temptation card. It says what is tempting you at the moment may not be a wise choice. Luckily, it's coming up in the past, so I think you could be releasing temptation. I kind of feel like, I'm cheating a little bit here, Virgo, just based off your astrology. I would say that, if temptation has gotten you in trouble, it probably got you in trouble over the past period of time. Like, maybe there was something that tempted you. Could have been a person or a situation or whatever. And, that kind of got you a little bit in trouble. I kind of feel that it maybe dimmed your light for a short period of time. And now you're kind of like expanding your light again. We have the sun in your reading. We also have the star in the past as well. Now, the star is coming up in the past, but I don't really think it matters. The star is all about healing. So if you went through something that did dim your light in some way or hurt you in some way, the star would say that you have healed, or you're kind of finishing up your healing around something that maybe caused you to clam up or withdraw from the world. And I get that feeling here with the star where maybe over the past stretch of time, you were more introspective. You are the hermit, The hermit is all about being introspective. But I always say I think the hermit needs to come down from the mountain. He has the star in his lantern, and he needs to shine his star out all over the place. So as far as karma is concerned, it wouldn't really surprise me if you went through something in the past that caused you to dim your light, or shut your lantern and close off your inner light. And I feel like you're realizing that you need to open that back up again. We have the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo, your sign. Definitely, the nodes can represent karmic energy. They are considered to bring karma and things like that. But I don't really think this is karma. I think that this is past lessons that you're overcoming, and you're shining your inner light more. And again, it makes sense, just based off the astrology in general. Sorry, my dog's being a jerk right now. I can hear her. She always barks and it scares the crap out of me. Gives me the jump scare. Anyway, next, in the area of your very near future, you have this bold to make the first move. You have this first quarter moon. Says your commitment is being tested. And so, yeah, I definitely feel the Knight of Pentacles is saying it's time to make your move. It's time to plant those seeds and get started. And, if you want something, I think the commitment thing is saying if you want something, the universe is seeing how bad you really want it. If you want something bad enough, are you going to be bold enough, to make a move? And here's the thing about the Knight of Pentacles. He's overthinking his situation, and he has these empty fields here. He could easily plant seeds in those fields and they would grow. So he needs to get to work and plant those seeds and, kind of make something happen. But the thing about the Knight of Pentacles is he might not have the confidence, or he might be worried. Again, this card says your commitment is being tested. So can you get started on something without knowing if it's going to work? I think that's a challenge for you, Virgo, and I really think it's a challenge for everyone. There are a couple things going on, but the big one being Neptune in Pisces. Yes, Neptune will eventually move out of Pisces, but it will also move back into Pisces again for a period of time. And, the thing with Neptune in Pisces is that normally we go to accomplish something and we have these milestones. We can maybe feel intuitively that we're getting closer. But when Neptune is in Pisces, those milestones are very far apart. I believe that part of Neptune in Pisces is that it's trying to get us to trust ourselves. We come up with an idea, we come up with a vision or something we want to accomplish, and Neptune in Pisces is basically the universe saying are you going to do it without needing people to pat you on the back every single step you take? Or do you need feedback for every little thing that you do, right? And so I think with Neptune in Pisces, we have to set out to accomplish something without the evidence that it's going to work, right? So you could be starting a business and, a lot of people, if they start something during Neptune and Pisces, there can be challenges or, it doesn't look like things are growing. And it's basically the universe saying, do you want this bad enough? And, this is not a bad thing. I always tell people if you're struggling to do something and you don't have the energy to do it, then you probably don't really want to do it, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? There could be something better for you if you explore. So it's like sometimes I think we say, oh, I want to start a business, but then we're not willing to stick by it during the tough times. And again, not a criticism, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like maybe you just don't want to do it, really, and maybe there's something better that you could be doing. So I think this is kind of like, I don't really think it's a test. I just think it's the universe saying, how bad do you want something? And it could be anything. Next, in your outcome row, you have this reframe card and this trust card. I love this reframe card because it basically says you can reframe any situation in your life and get a different energy out of it. I feel the trust card is talking about trusting yourself, trusting that you know the steps that you need to take and that you will take those steps. Next, in the area of the next stretch of time, you have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups can be a knight in shining armor. So for some of you, there could be love coming in if you want it. Really, I think the Knight of Cups is saying that it's time to plant seeds. And like I said at the beginning of the reading, I think you don't have to wait. I think you could do this right now. Whatever you're thinking about starting or doing, there's basically the reading is saying to me that you're going to do this anyway. Whatever you're thinking about doing, maybe you're thinking about writing a book, or maybe you're thinking about getting attention because we have the Six of Wands next, or, maybe you're thinking about starting a business or doing something. I would just get started now. I think there's no difference if you start it now or later, really, so it really doesn't matter. Probably not. But why not start now is really kind of the energy I get off of that card. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Six of Wands. People are seeing you grow. This is all relationships in your life. He is being celebrated, and he is on his high horse. But here's the thing, is he has earned the right to be on that high horse. He has overcome something difficult, or he's had a victory or a win in his life, and that's why he's being celebrated. So I feel for a lot of you that you could really be being celebrated by the people in your life. And this is an amazing card for receiving support from the right people, especially in this part of the reading of your closest relationships. And so I feel that there could be just a lot of support coming in for you. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is kind of like an interesting card. The Hierophant can represent inside-the-box thinking. But I actually feel pretty good about this for you, Virgo. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't with the Hierophant. But the Hierophant is about expressing your vision from heaven down to earth. He communicates with heaven and earth. He is able to take the messages he's receiving, and he is delivering those messages to those two people on the front of the card there. And so I feel a lot of you could be kind of, sharing your words or sharing your vision in the future. And again, you could be developing a following. You could be building a following on social media. You could be teaching people how to do things. You might not even be doing this actively. This might be more of a passive thing. We have Pluto and Aquarius, and the most spiritual thing we can do during Pluto and Aquarius is be an inspiration for other people. So if you're doing hard things or overcoming challenges or just making your life better in some way, you are teaching people not directly, but you are inspiring them to make change. And like I said, that's the best thing we possibly can do right now. So, that's what I would do with this card. You have the Seven of Cups as your outcome. I like this for you. I feel this is pretty good. I feel like you are spoiled for choice. I think you have a lot of options at the end of the reading here. I would definitely pick something and make it happen. There are good things and bad things in these cups. So, I guess the challenge with the Seven of Cups is that he's thinking about doing something in his life, but he's just thinking about it. He's thinking of the bad things and the good things. He isn't kind of finding out what actually will happen if he takes action. So there's definitely a need to take action in this reading, or there's a need for action with this reading, and I think that's going to be important as well. With the Nine of Cups in the world, you have the Five of Wands again. The dimming the light thing that we were talking about, I think that this challenge will stick with you for a little bit of time. And now, I don't want to scare you, but I just want to say that there will be moments in the future where things are going to make you, kind of clam up or withdraw. And I feel the Five of Wands, the challenge here is to be brave, to be bold, to be assertive in those moments and kind of overcome yourself, right? And I feel if you do that, that will be, the ultimate form of strength for you, Virgo, and that's exactly what I would do. With the Sun, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about taking the lead and making progress. You have that move, the relocation home card. The Two of Wands, he has the whole world in his hands, And he's standing where he's always been, so he needs to get out into the world and experience new things. And those are the types of moves that you could be making. Again, you don't have to move, you could just be making moves in the world, and it's coming up in the area of your thoughts. So you could be thinking about making moves. I would stop thinking about it and I would just do it. Like whatever moves you're thinking of making, I would do those things. With the 10 of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups, which is great. Again, really good love reading. If you already have love, this is very good. Like, you could be thinking about starting a family, or actually starting a family with a person. If you want love, you could definitely be meeting a person here, Knight of Cups, over the next few months, and this could be a very solid connection for you. So that looks good. With the Star, exactly what I said, you have the 10 of Swords. Like I said, I'm cheating because of your astrology, but there is no doubt about it. I think that you had a moment in your past where you were stabbed in the back or, something caused you to dim your light. And the good news is that this is showing up in the position of the energy that you are moving past. So I feel you are releasing this energy of, whatever the situation was, it doesn't matter. And you are getting up off the ground. The whole point of the 10 of Swords is that he is dead, and so it doesn't like his situation can't get worse, right? He has reached rock bottom. Maybe you experienced rock bottom in the past, and now his next step is to get up off the ground and start moving forward. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the King of Wands. Yes, being bold, being assertive, really making things happen. He's a little bit of a visionary as well, the King of Wands. So sometimes I think when we have visionary ideas, there's nothing we can compare those ideas to because they're innovative, they're new. We have Pluto and Aquarius, which is all about innovative and new energy. So I would be embracing your new ideas or, new directions where maybe your ideas are a little bit out there. Or maybe you're having some ideas of like changing the direction of your life. But that's exactly what I would do with this card. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Death card. Definitely a transformation. Could be a Scorpio. You've had a Scorpio in your readings before, so if you want love, this could be a Scorpio person coming in for you. This could also just represent a change, of course, the Death card. And you clearly are going through changes at this time. With the 6 of Wands, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is showing up in the area of your closest relationships. King of Swords is an amazing card for mentors or guides, or people that can kind of guide you on your journey. So if you are like building something or if you're trying to find success, this could also represent, in this area of the reading, you asking people for help or getting help from a person who is trying to guide you or help move you forward in some way. And that's exactly what I would focus on there. With the Hierophant, you have the 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles is about feeling left out in the cold. And like I said, this is the thing, the Hierophant is a belief system. And so you might be developing a new belief system. This might also kind of trigger some of those feelings of dimming your light. I have been saying this to you for a while that I think you are changing your message, Virgo. I've said this to you in past readings. And I don't like, this is how you communicate and it is also all your identity. And so whenever this happens, there are going to be people who are not going to believe what you believe. And so some of you might feel like you're losing people in the future. Or, if you have social media, maybe you feel like you're losing people there because of your message. But I feel like you need to have the strength to express your message as it is. Like, you are changing your beliefs for a reason, and so this is definitely something, I don't really think it's a challenge. It could feel challenging, but I think it's just something you're going through. With the 7 of Cups, you have the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So again, with the King of Swords, the more people you can get to help you, the better. Now, the thing about the 3 of Pentacles is, usually the 3 of Pentacles kind of represents more concentrated energy, meaning you might end up having less people around you. But this could be a good thing because the people that stick by your side moving forward into the future are going to be more concentrated energy. They're going to be people who really matter, really believe in you. And again, I think this has to do with like the quality of your connections is probably improving. And sometimes when the quality of our connections improves, we kind of lose people that are not quality. So there you go. You have this Pig card, it says beware of greed. Whenever we have Mars retrograde like we do right now, I always tell people like be careful of greedy people, jealous people, things like that. I would just ignore it, plain and simple. You have this Cup, it says you should accept valid criticism. I mean, you've dealt with both ends of the spectrum as far as criticism is concerned, and I feel that maybe you've learned like what good criticism is and what bad criticism is. so I would pay attention. You have this Rose card. It says romance is in the air. Yes, Knight of Cups definitely could be a romantic situation. Again, I feel like some of you already have it, and so if you already have romance or a person, very good. If you don't, then definitely could be love. You have this wealth card, so yes, definitely could be improving your wealth through your work. And also with the sun and the star, attention is very important. So, kind of being a positive example is going to be the thing that increases your wealth. Finally, you have this broken bridge. It says unsuccessful outcome to a problem. This could be like a past situation that you just have to release with that Ten of Swords and you just have to move past it, right? But this looks very good, Virgo. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.